So, good evening. My name's Bino. I'm Korotokwenyamon's son, and Ivan Uncle was my dad's nephew. So, we just flew in this evening, and just looking at all the faces and hearing the stories. Just want to say, Ivan Uncle had and I've heard it tonight a lot of times, he was always a big idea guy. He had a lot of ideas. He'd call me up and say, hey, I have an idea, let's talk about it. And as we would talk, some of them were very interesting. Some were like, you know what, he's just thinking outside the box, very futuristic. But most importantly, what I saw from him was he had a big heart, a very big heart, an open heart. And again, just hearing what I've heard tonight, it stands so true. And just to share a little story, I have an uncle, I was in my early 30s, and I have an uncle had an idea. He called me up and he goes, Mone, you need to settle down. I have a girl for you to meet in Toronto, right? And that was Julie. And I just remember flying up there the very next day, meeting Julie, getting to know the family, and getting to spend time with Ben, Sally Auntie, and Sheena. And then I'd fly up and continue to go to Sally Auntie and Ivan Uncle's house, borrow their car to go meet Julie. And 20 years later, we're still here celebrating Ivan Uncle's life. I want to say that he's touched us all. I just want to say, Ivan Uncle, rest in peace, watch over us. May God always be with you. You've always touched us. And to Sally Auntie, Ben, Sheena, Rabina, we'll always be here for you, always.
Just wanted to say a couple words. I always remember Ivan Uncle. So growing up in Toronto, I'd always go to Toronto Auntie and Uncle's house and see Ivan Uncle there. And he was always a happy, jolly, big guy. And I was always a little intimidated. And then, he was always happy. And I have to say, I'm very thankful to him for introducing Bino and and for encouraging us. And I'm going to commit today, after hearing all of you speak, that I am going to do better at putting Jesus as the center of my life and the center of my family's life. And I think Beno and I are going to commit to that and make Ivan Uncle really proud of us. And Ben, Sheena, Robina, Sally Auntie, we love you. Whatever you need, we're here. And Uncle's always been an inspiration. He'll continue to be.